Downtown
Hello.
Media. We're so excited to have you. Welcome to Christina's Corner. So
You're
I
right.
am your
Or speak.
It speaks.
Christina Speaks because I do write, but not today. But I'm excited to have you guys. I've followed you guys since about 2000. Wait, I think it was 2013 maybe when I first saw you guys at an event. I think it was a cultural center on Hickman Avenue. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Creeper.
Hickman.
It was Hickman, oh gosh, between like 86th and 100th. And I remember it was a venue that I think now is a church. It's been a bunch of other things. But what I remember the most was that there weren't a lot of people there. And I can't remember who invited me to go. And I just remember you guys had the energy that it was like there were 1,000 people there.
Oh.
You guys gave it your all. And I really admired that because I thought, you know what, these guys really love the music. It's not about whether there's, 50 people or 1,000 people. It's really about the music for them.
Was it a Palacio or no?
I believe
Yes, there was
so.
Palacio.
Yes,
There was Palacio.
that's
There was
it.
Palacio.
Good memory.
Yeah. What do you say? There is not many people there.
Yeah, Palacio.
Yeah.
We remember that.
Yes.
But that stuck with me. And we had already organized one memorial concert for the Warren Morrow Memorial Concert. And so when we were looking for acts for the following year, I was like, I want that energy. And we weren't that big either, so we weren't too far from Palacio. I mean, we probably had, I don't know, maybe 150 to 200 people there, but it wasn't like we were inviting you to come and play at the state fair or anything. And I thought, oh, they're not going to want to play. They're going to go, no, we already tried the Palacio. We're not doing that again.
That was at Woolies.
That was at
Right?
Woolies, yes.
After that show,
Yeah.
that's how we came up with our annual show at Woolies. After that show, that was the first time we played at Woolies. And then we went there and talked to the booking guy because we liked the venue and we've heard about that. We've heard a lot about Woolies. Oh my God, Woolies, you guys should play Woolies. And then we got that opportunity out of Palacio, nobody, but then you took us to Woolies. So that was very special for us too.
Wow, I didn't know that about you guys in Woolies. Well, good. I'm glad. I love to hear stories like that with artists that perform for the Warren Morrow concert. That's happened to a lot of them. I don't know if you've met any of the other artists like Making Movies or Iscali who have also played, but they volunteered for the very first concert that we did, and then someone there in the audience heard them and invited them back, and now, gosh, I think they come at least once a year to a different event in Des Moines.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Very nice.
Yeah.
So, aside from Palacio, where did you guys start your music career with Iowa? How did
So
that come
the,
about?
the Palacio one, we were just starting to step in
In Des Moines. That's why
That was our beginning, like in Des Moines.
because we came from the Cedar Valley. The band. I mean, we are from Brazil. But we got a scholarship to study you and I in Cedar Falls. So then we started the band in Cedar Falls, and we did everything we could, and we took over Cedar Falls like we were the band. So then it started getting smaller there. Like, let's go to Des Moines. That's when we got to Des Moines,
Yep.
and then we did Palacio because we didn't know much
Yeah.
about anything.
Yeah, we could barely
Navigate.
navigate through town
Yeah.
back then.
And then we start doing here and there,
Little
here
stuff,
and there,
small
here and
stuff.
there, yeah. And now we play everywhere.
And now we are amazing. We are just famous
Yeah.
and rich. That's
Des Moines famous is the thing, guys. It really is.
yeah. No, it's been a very nice ride. It's been very very nice for us.
Yeah, now we are playing a lot more.
So, do you live in Des Moines now that you have so many gigs here, or are you still operating out of this?
I've been how long ago? 4 years, like five,
4.5, almost
Yeah.
5 years.
almost 5 years in Des Moines.
Really?
I live in
Yes.
Ingersoll here.
Oh, okay. Not
Ingersoll,
too far.
you know.
Yeah. So the Cedar Valley was home in Cedar Falls for a while, 5 years, because that's where we were going to college. And it was very nice, a small town, but very, very nice, very different than the reality we are living in Brazil. The entire
Yeah,
experience in
experience in
Iowa
United
is
States.
like, yes, it's very different. So that was our first contact with the United States, Cedar Falls. That's where we made our first home. and we learned literally. Cedar Falls was all a school in a very different way because everything we were doing with the band, we are doing with the band now. We tried first in Cedar Falls.
And we're
And-
still trying in the morning
Yeah,
and taking
the
it out. now.
yeah, the things that work for us, we take it out. Yeah, so it's been awesome. Our experience here in Iowa, it's been just great.
So, when you say that it was very different from Brazil to Iowa, what was your very first winter like in Iowa?
Though we didn't even need the winter. We got here in August, and it was like we they we got in the airplane. We flew from Brazil to Des Moines airport, and as soon as it was a beautiful day, nicer than today, sunny August. As soon as you opened the door that you left the airport,
Yeah,
it was like
cold.
it
so
was
cold.
so cold. In a
Yeah.
cold that Brazil could never get, and that was August.
Wow.
So then people start telling us, "Oh, do you think it's cold now? Do you think it's cold?" I was like,
Nah.
"Yeah, it's freezing." They're like, "Oh, wait."
Yeah,
Like, we don't like. What's the cold you get there? Like 60.
yeah, 55. It's
Yeah,
like,
like-
oh my goodness, what we are gonna do? Yeah.
55. Like, hardly ever though.
Yeah.
So this last winter, when it was 55 below, how did you
Mhm.
guys survive
Last
that?
winter was good. Yeah, yeah. We've been here like 11 years now, and it's still like,
Yeah, I don't know if there is such a thing as getting used to. You just get cold and
That's it.
hope, wait for the summer. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But the difference between among these two countries, it's beyond
The explanation, like,
no,
like,
it's beyond the
cold.
yeah, the
Seasonal.
weather and the seasons. It's we grew up in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and our entire childhood and the reality we live in Brazil is very different. And I said that in the present, it is still very different.
I think it's even more like apart now.
Yeah, we grew up in a very poor neighborhood in Brazil, in very dangerous, and the poor that we grew up there is very different than the poor you guys have here. We have friends and people who that consider themselves to be poor, but they all have Wi-Fi. They have they have cell phones and everything.
All poor is like,
What?
yeah, like,
Yeah, it's weird. Like
it's really weird.
we had friends that were living in houses that's the size
Way-
of like
Way smaller than this basement.
yeah, like and sometimes three families sharing that
And
space.
we're still doing cardboard house.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still doing houses of
Some
trash
places,
and
yeah.
like, but it's weird. Like, no lights. We have places in Brazil that they're still doing lighting the candle.
Yeah,
Like-
no asphalt.
Yeah, the asphalt is still normal. Like, you go there and there
Yeah,
are
right.
huge towns with no asphalt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Think about it,
What?
like, there are towns in Brazil that
Yeah.
has no asphalt, like
Yeah.
bigger than Cedar Falls,
Yeah,
and a
just-
bunch of towns here.
So then, how did you connect to someone in Iowa or at UNI? How did that connection happen?
Yeah, the connection is some believe in luck. I believe that was God. My brother and I we all despite all the difference and that reality that we are living there, we had amazing parents that helped us overcome the things that our friends were not fortunate enough. We lost a lot of friends growing up, and so we start playing violin. Still living in the poor neighborhood, we start playing violin there at the age of 11 years old, and the reason why was because our dad is a violin maker, but he cannot play. So he used my brother and I as a guinea pig to learn how to play the instrument so we could try his instrument, to tell him, hey, yeah, you need a little bit more, cut this part here, put a little bit more here. So just to giving him some advice on his own instrument. And so we started learning to help him, got in the orchestra, in the poor neighborhood, in the favelas, that's how we call. And from there, we start gaining a lot of attention from the
it was
media.
the first black poor orchestra
Yeah.
in Brazil. Like we were black kids from the slums playing violin, classical instrument.
Classical
So we got
instrument and classical music.
So we got a lot of attention. Like
Yeah, and one of these days we are doing a show in Copacabana, Rio de Janeiro, and there is two ladies watching the show. There is a bunch of people, but among all of those people, two ladies came after the show and asked for an interview with us. One of the ladies were Brazilian, and the other one was American. The Brazilian was translating to the American lady. So yeah, we gave them an interview there right after the show in the green room, and they were just like in love with us, and they asked if they could come to our house to finish the interview. We're like, I don't think this is a good idea. You have no idea where we live, but they kept on insisting. Next morning, they actually showed up to our neighborhood to finish the interview. That interview aired on NPR radio, and somebody in Iowa was listening to the radio and invited my brother and I to do a show at the Capitol building.
for the World Food
For the
Prize, they
World-
invited us to play one song. We came to play one song.
Yep.
Let's take a
And
picture.
how old were you then?
20.
No. Yeah, we
We
were,
came. Yeah,
no,
because
no,
we
we
came
were-
to study. We were 21 when we got here.
yeah, so we were 20.
Yeah, we were
age
20.
of 20.
Oh wow! So you've been playing violin for about 10 years.
Yeah, it's on and off because all beginning with the violin was very hard. So we did not care about the violin at all. It took like at least 3 years for us to start to enjoy. You know, it was boring.
It was really
It was
boring.
very boring. So yeah, on and off 10 years, we got the chance to come here to the United States, he and I, and we did a show here at the Capitol building. And the
One
press-
song.
One
One
song.
song.
One song. So they
Yeah.
flew you all the way
All
from
the way.
Brazil
Our trip was
to
way
Des
longer.
Moines,
Yeah.
Iowa, for all those hours to play
Yeah.
one song.
One song.
And
Isn't
there
that
was
weird?
TVs.
And we stayed here for
and-
3 days to play one song.
The whole world was here. Like people from all over the world
Bunch of cameras.
were at the World Food Prize, and we did that song, one song, and they loved it. They loved it. And the president, the former president of UNI, was watching that show. He was present at the event, and after the show, he came to us and asked if we would like to have a scholarship to study at UNI.
Wow.
And we were like,
Sure.
yeah, let's do it. At that time, we thought that he was just like, man,
Drunk.
just
He was
talking, you
drunk
know?
as he did his
Yeah,
thing.
they were serving alcohol, right?
Yeah, it was a huge event. It is a huge event.
It's massive.
The World Food Prize is huge. A lot of nice people. But anyway, so we thought that he was just talking. Then we started receiving, in Brazil, we started receiving
mails,
mails from you and I.
picture from you and I, asking us to pick our dorm.
Like, yeah, dorm room,
It's like,
and
what?
the course, and this and that. We're
It's
like,
really happening.
Yeah.
Like,
and we could not speak any English
Not
back
at
then.
all,
Not
like-
at all. So we had a couple here in the morning that was helping us. They're from Brazil, so they are translating to us, Gilmara and Martin Mitchell, and they were translating for, and they were kind of like the middleman, you know, between us and you and I.
yeah, they're translating all this.
We didn't even tell our parents that we had gotten a scholarship because like it was so hard to believe. I didn't want to alarm my mom, but then like a month, closer to a month, for us to actually come to the United States, we're like, it's happening. We gotta tell mom. So, we told her like, Mom, we got a
By the way,
opportunity to
we
go
are
to the
leaving.
United States. You guys are leaving the country again. I'm like, yeah, but this one is a little bit longer than 3 days. What do you mean? We got a scholarship. We're going there to study. But to be honest, back then I didn't think we would stay here like 6
yeah,
months.
we thought we were gonna get kicked out in like a month.
We just came for fun, like for
Let's hang out in the United States.
let's just go there to tell our friends that we did it. And here we are, 11 years. Yeah, we literally just came for the fun of it.
Wow.
Yeah, and now
There was a couple
I
of
was
times in
home.
college that we looked at each other. So when are we leaving?
Yeah, we got the whole deal with being homesick, you know, It was weird. It was weird.
Were there any other Brazilians on campus?
Not at all. Not at all.
Just me
In
and him.
Cedar Falls, which was awesome because
Yeah,
we
me
are
too. I
forced
appreciate
to
that.
learn how
Yeah.
to speak English. You know.
Yeah, we start like, okay, we need to get it. And
Yeah.
now we barely speak Portuguese between
Yeah.
the two of us.
So even I was just going to ask you, when you're home and you're not performing, you're not around anyone, you still speak English to each other?
Yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of the time, and
It's
there is
very
like
hard.
a lot of switches. We use some words in Portuguese and a sentence in English,
But mostly it's English. Like,
But mostly
it's,
English.
It's very hard.
and you
to
know what?
switch.
It's hard. A lot of people don't know that, and I bet they don't even think when we go to Brazil,
Oh my
it's
god.
terrible
To speak Portuguese.
to speak Portuguese. I haven't been to Brazil for 6 years, so when I go, it's like
No,
it's hard. It's very
I've been
hard.
a couple times. He was not there. And man, things changed.
Yeah. But yeah, our story coming here was awesome. Everything we are doing, living here, you know, all the experience is just amazing. My idea back then when I came to United States, and I sat here like, man, I actually like this, the quality, the whole thing. And then my plan was, I'm gonna become a very good musician and go back to help my parents. Instead, I got cancer, got a girl pregnant, and I'm still here.
So you changed
And
your
ask
plan.
help
Yeah,
for the
oops,
parents.
yeah.
Mom and dad
Hey,
can
mom, can you send some money?
So are your parents still in Brazil?
Yeah.
We are the only ones here.
We are the only ones here. And we have brothers and sisters, mom and dad, grandpa, grandma,
The whole
uncle,
family
aunt, aunt. Everybody's in Brazil.
brothers.
Yeah, we are the only ones here.
And do they ever want to come here and see you, or have they been here to see you
Oh,
perform?
yeah.
They have my mom and dad. They have been here, but
Yeah.
those are the only one in the family. It's very weird. We were just talking about that today. Like, how come our brother has never been here?
Yeah. They
Weird.
like coming during the winter because it's so
Our
different.
parents, they. I just told my mom yesterday, like, why winter? They only come during the winter.
Yeah, they want to
love
see
the
the
winter.
snow.
I mean, if you're there in Brazil, it gets like 98 degrees, 140.
Yeah, it gets
And then
very
they
hot.
come to the summer again. Now they're running away from summer.
Yeah, so they love coming here during the winter and see the
See the
snow.
and-
They have been here like quite a few times now, and it's so nice. Like especially the first time that we got to bring them here, and when they saw the snow, it was like mission accomplished. That
Yeah.
was awesome. My mom cried like a kid.
Yeah, mom crying like a baby. Like, it's snow.
She
Wait
saw
3
the snow.
days, you're gonna be crying for a whole different reason, asking you to stop.
And when she saw it, was like
Yeah,
this high
was
here.
really thin. Like,
Yeah.
and then we got a storm. Like, she saw it was really thin, and she was
Yeah.
crying. Like, oh my god, it's snow, and crying, but crying for real. And then she went to bed. When she woke up, was like
Yeah, it was
5
terrible.
feet. Like,
Yeah, it was
wow,
terrible.
a lot of accidents. I was like, yeah, look at now.
Yeah, how do
We
you like
could-
this now?
They loved it. They loved
loved
it.
So what about seeing you perform? I mean, knowing that your dad got you started with violins that he couldn't even play, and it's opened these doors
Yeah.
that you didn't imagine.
So the whole plan of my parents went south also. They want us to learn. Number one, to try the instrument for my dad. And number two, to escape from the danger of the neighborhood. You know, like they want to keep us busy to get out of there and escape the neighborhood. But they never thought we would be doing what we are doing. Like I haven't seen them in person for nearly 6 years. And that was never the plan. And the other interesting thing, my mom has seen a big show. My dad,
He's never seen us. But
yeah, he has never been a live show.
No.
And so has none of our friends in Brazil
yeah,
or
brothers,
parents.
yeah,
None
no,
of them
they've
have
never seen it.
a live show.
Isn't that weird? No, think about it.
Yeah.
So do you have any plans to go and perform together in Brazil?
We are working on it. We
Mm-hmm.
are working on it, but it's a slow process. It's very slow. The country is complicated. The
Yeah,
Brazil
it's
is
very
weird,
dangerous there right
Very
now.
very dangerous. And then we are working on it. Hopefully, it's gonna work. And yeah,
Yeah. That would be very nice to be able to give a big concert there for them.
That sounds like it would be amazing, and even to
Hmm.
tell your story from a perspective that you came from there and music brought you here, and
Yeah.
then you took your music back there. I would imagine that would be. I mean, I think of the little brown boys in my family when they see people who are doing things that they don't see other brown kids doing, and
Hmm.
how it impacts them. I can only imagine on the level
Hmm.
of the kids from your old neighborhood
Yeah, talking about
what
it,
that would look like.
not even like the. It definitely like wow. We do speeches. We go to schools and
Motivational speech.
we go to what are the age like
Middle
middle
school
school
to
and
college.
up. And man, like you said, when the kids like they see us, and I think it's every no Wagner, every uh, like white, brown, blue. They see us. We tell them our story.
Yeah.
I check this out. We start like this because we showed it before and after. And they, oh my God, they are doing what they love. They are following their dream. They
Yeah.
are rock stars, and they love seeing that because we tell them when we start like we had nothing. Now this is what we're doing, and we show videos, and they, oh my God, because we have some videos that's like no,
Yeah,
pretty
like,
convincing. Like
wow.
Well, I've seen some of the drone footage of some of your shows, and it's very
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah.
Way, way far away from El Palacio.
Yo.
Very different crowd today.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of hard work, and
What happened to Palacio?
they closed.
They closed. The owners moved back to Texas,
That's what I heard.
and now it's a church, as far as I know.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, but this is one of the things that we preach in your speech is that a lot of people there think that all you have to do to accomplish it to reach success. I'm not talking about like pop star success, success in general. They just have to have a dream. No, you gotta work hard. You saw when we
All
first
that
got
dream.
here, the amount of people that we had in your shows compared to now, it's crazy. But we put so until today, we put a lot of work to make it work. To have a full show, to have a nice material going out of the door. We put a lot of work, and I am a huge believer that only great things are gonna come out of hard work. So this is the secret. Work hard and great things are gonna come out of it.
When you think about all the shows you've done from El Palacio, and even before then, when you were in Cedar Falls, do you have a favorite one?
Yeah.
We have a couple yearly shows, events like some festivals that we love doing. And don't get me wrong, we still do
Oh yeah.
small shows like those.
Palacio, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
especially when
really
it comes to fundraisers. We do a lot of fundraisers. My brother and I, we like, this is something we are never gonna let it go. We are always trying to be part of something, help. It's all about giving it back. And we don't bother like not having a lot of people in your events. We are there. It would be nice if there was more people, but we gotta start somewhere. Yeah, especially for those fundraisers that we are trying to help. So yeah, we still do like some smaller events.
some Palacio. We even like when we are there, we are like, yeah, that's Palacio.
That's good. Yeah, no.
Because Palacio there were like 7 people.
Yeah, like maybe 10, 7 to 10
That
people.
includes the bartender, right?
Yeah. And we did the full show.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
but
did the
like
full
I
show.
said, it was super impressive, the energy, and now it's several years later. You guys are older, but you still have that energy. I don't know how, because I don't have the energy I had when I first saw you.
By the way, now that I'm thinking, we played that show during the night, the whole show, and we still have to go back to Cedar Falls,
Yeah, we
2
drove
hours
to Cedar Falls.
drive back home.
After that day.
Yeah, we had to
show.
break everything down and go back home, 2 hours.
And that's that work that you talk about that
That's
people
it.
don't see behind the scenes.
Yeah, huh?
They might see your Facebook post of the drones and the thousands of people, and you guys at
Yeah.
like Okoboji and all these cool places, and they don't see that was the struggle. That was where you were paying,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
playing to 7 people. You drove 2 hours. You did a full set. You guys were sweating. You were jumping around. You did a wonderful set, and then you had to drive back. It was what, 1 in the morning or so,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you were driving back.
We
You
are
must
so
have been
tired. I remember
exhausted.
that because the guy they hit a deer. Remember?
You hit a deer. Oh, wow.
All the friends they hit a deer on the way back home.
Oh,
So they had to
man.
pull over and kind of had some damage in the car. But this is part of what we do, you know. Like, this is what we try to tell all the people out there. It's like, this is life. Life is like this, full of up and downs. We really enjoy playing for a group of 3,000 people. It's awesome. The energy, you know, you feel like our work is working. But every once in a while, we get some weird shows that let's go. Let's be 100. Yeah, it's
That those small shows that nobody show up, that's the task. Like, let's see what you're made of. Okay, giving a show for 10,000 people is easy. The energy is there. It's like, wow, yeah, I'm I'm the shit.
but now for 7,
For 7 people, it's really, it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you've got to bring that energy in.
it's really hard though. Like,
yeah, and that night we went back there. We are gonna do the show because those 7 people here, they paid, they drove, and they are people. They came to see us. Let's deliver, and we end up having fun because we are talking a lot on the mic and making fun of the crowd, and they were laughing.
Yeah,
It was very nice.
it was funny.
I remember you shared a little bit of your story. You said that you were from Brazil, that you grew up poor, and that you got into music, and that it changed. I didn't know the details,
We're still poor.
but you. What? You're not rich rock stars? Oh, that's why we booked you on this show.
Still poor.
Oops, cancel,
Oops.
cancel.
Oops.
So I know that you worked through a manager. I've worked with your manager before. How did you come about that relationship?
That kid is something else, our manager. I'm glad you asked about him because we don't get the chance to talk about him a lot. He was nice, but then we were friends. But then once he started managers, things got kind of weird, and now he's a huge, like, he makes a lot of money on our back. I'm just kidding. I hope he watch that later. No, man, that kid, we met him. His name is TC. We met him in college, freshman year. We could not speak English. We met him in a bar. He asked us to buy drinks for him.
Because he was a minor and and we couldn't understand. It was very confusing because why don't you buy your drink? And he was really big. It's like, why don't you buy your drink?
And he was giving us money.
Yeah, and
like,
we were like,
you already have the money. Why don't you go there and grab it?
And then we thought that he was trying to steal us, like he's trying to rob us. And then we were like, but he gave us money.
It was a mess.
So what type of technique is that?
It was a mess.
So,
that
because
night.
in Brazil we don't have drinking age, so we could not wrap our mind around like, why don't you buy your drink? Like, so it was a huge mess, and we came with that mentality like, okay, he's being sketchy, he's trying something, but our hand was full of money.
As a matter of fact, it took us a while to let it go.
Yeah,
Like that. We are always like on the fence, you know, with the guys in general, like always watching our back. Like guys would look weird for us, we would be ready for something like, oh yeah, it's going down tonight. But it was just the background that we grew up. And with TC, it was the same thing. We were like, why is he giving us money? This is kind of weird, you know?
No, you're like, hey, he's trying to rob us, man. Let's go get it. Let's go. And
So
then, wait a minute, his money's here. Like, he gave us money.
That's how Americans
Yeah.
do. They give you the money.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening? And
That's
then,
the Iowa nice.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they're robbing people.
and then later we learned that there is an age thing. I was like, wow, no way. We had no idea. In Brazil, you can
But-
buy a beer as long as you can say the name of the beer.
Yeah.
You're gonna buy it. Yeah.
So we met him in a bar, became good friends, and my brother and I we were already doing some small events at you and I, like whenever they had some corporate stuff going on at you and I, they would send him and I to perform, in which was very nice. It was a very nice school for us to see how the whole corporate works here in the United States. It's kind of different, but anyway. And then we start getting busy, and we asked him, "Hey, do you wanna help us to do to book some events, send the email back, replying stuff?" At first, he was like, "No, it's not my
It
thing."
took a long time though.
Yeah, it took a while. And then when he saw that we are actually kind of starting happening, he jumped on. We have been together since then, and he's such a nice guy. Like,
Very
he's a
smart.
brother.
Yeah,
he's
he's sharp.
definitely a brother.
Sharp kid.
Yeah,
So do you do music full time now, or
Yeah,
do you
full
have
time.
Full time.
Since we got here,
Since
never had a job.
yeah, we
We
worked
did, but-
you and I,
Yeah, on
like because
campus.
we were students.
Mowing.
We did a lot of nice stuff.
Yeah.
Like we did when we first got here. We were like
the-
it blew our mind the grass of the campus.
Yeah.
It's so gorgeous. Like Cedar Falls, you and I, that campus is gorgeous. When we
No
first
heat.
got here, it's like heaven. And we got the first thing we noticed was like, man, look at this grass. We would like be so amazed by the grass. Like 4 months later, we were working on grounds, mowing grass and watering the plants and taking care of the yards and everything. So that was a very, very nice job for us. We also did a dining
The cafeteria.
cafeteria, doing dishes.
Yeah,
That
we
was a
did the
lot, and
dishes.
cleaning. That was a lot of fun. It was a very nice way for us to start
Learning
English. So we did
Yeah,
that.
we did the-
We also did the cleaning apartment.
Oh yeah, we cleaned the apartment in the summer.
Yeah, that was fun too. Full summer. The one thing I haven't done yet is detailing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we are trying to do some detailing, but we never did.
Don't do it.
Don't do
It sucks. It's not fun.
I know. That's why we want to do it. We want to see what that's
Like,
about.
let's see what this is.
Everybody talking about that. It's
it.
bad.
I did even road construction.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
so it's nice, very nice. The whole journey here in the United States, Iowa especially, it's been awesome. But that was at the beginning while we were in college. But after that,
Yeah,
we just full-time musicians.
since the beginning.
Wow, that's great. So what is your entourage like? Is it just the two of you, your drummer and your manager, or do you usually travel with more?
More.
yeah, we have
Wow.
different packages.
Yeah.
We figured that there are several different types of events, and sometimes a band is not a good fit for this event, so the two of us go, no, we cannot send the two of us, and then we go with the band. So we have the two of us, we have a trio, we have a 4-piece band, and we can also come up with a 6-piece band for bigger shows and production and everything.
But mostly the 4-piece band.
Yeah, 4-piece band is a strong piece,
And how long have you been working with those other musicians?
Well, this varies now. Our first band, we had the original
6
guys.
years.
No, was for the band has existed for 7 years now. 7 years. Our first band ever. We never played in a band. We never had a band.
Never liked the band.
Yeah, to be honest, we never liked.
Never went to a live show. Never cared.
So your first live show was your own?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Like,
yeah,
let's do
our
it.
first live show is our show.
And to be, it was so weird to be on the stage our first time. Just so you can have an idea, I don't know how many people know that, but our first show on the stage, we didn't even know
Oh yeah.
how to plug the stuff,
The
how to do
instrument.
a sound check.
It was a big show. So we played at this music venue in Cedar Falls. Was the most popular one was the Hub, and the guy gave us a Thursday or Wednesday, I don't know,
Yeah, one
to
of-
see what we do. And we started advertising like crazy. Like we advertised, oh my God, we got
Like
to play
we would
this
go
place.
to bed like 1 a.m. because we would go outside. We were living college still, and we would go chalk the street.
We chalked every day. all the
Every
time,
night
like,
we would go, but we
everywhere
would do
walked.
during the night so nobody
Nobody
would see us.
see us do it, We would go like from 1 to 3, 1
Yeah,
to
like
4.
Just
Chalking.
chalking,
The
advertising
Brazilian
the show.
twins are gonna be at this place at this time. Brazilian twins, you cannot miss. Oh my God, they are amazing. All of that. So we did the chalking, and then we were in the green room. The green room was downstairs, and the stage was right up ahead, and we could start hearing people showing up, and people showing up, and people showing up, and then when we got on the stage, the place was packed on a Thursday, and I'm like, oh my God, this is happening. Like we had no idea about the whole.
I remember the sound guy asking like, "How is your monitor?" It's like, what is a monitor?
Like,
I had no idea what a monitor. He's like, "Can you hear yourself?" Yeah. I'm good. And then he was like, "Can you check your mic?" Mike, hey, Mike, hello,
we had no idea what we were
hello.
doing.
Like just very uncomfortable. But the show went well.
The show went really well.
Yeah,
That night was when I decided, you know what? That's it.
Yeah,
That's what I want to do.
yeah. We started the group, the first band, because my brother and I, we were starting to get kind of overwhelmed with the events that you and I was throwing on us, and then, of course, the neighborhood started learning about us because they would go to the events that you and I like. Oh, there is those two guys that played here. They are awesome. There is these two guys. So we start getting booked. And some of the events were too big for the two of us. So they invited this guy from the orchestra. He used to play bass. His name is Riley Shit. So I invited him to be in the group with us. And I asked him, do you know of any drummer? He had a friend that used to play drums. So we brought the guy. And there we started playing some pop music and rehearsing. That was it.
So have you always done pop? Do you switch it up? Do you bring any like Brazilian sounds?
Yeah, it's a mess. The show is a mess. It's like it's Brazilian, it's pop music, it's old like what a
Yeah,
wonderful
we play like
world.
we play Bruno Mars, Justin Timberlake, and then we throw there some "Stand by Me." Oh, what a wonderful world!
And then we do old rock.
Yeah,
Like it's just like a mix
it's
of
all over the
everything.
place.
So was that music that you had heard in Brazil, or was that music that you got familiar with when you moved to the U.S.?
Most of them here.
Yeah, we both.
Yeah, we like the pop. Pop is always like something that we appreciate, because this is the thing that I don't know how many of you know is that your culture, like especially the musician, it's very strong in Brazil. Like we Jay-Z, if Jay-Z shows up in Brazil, downtown Rio de Janeiro now, and walks out of the car, everybody know who Jay-Z is. Beyonce, Lady Gaga, all those people, they are huge in Brazil. So we have been following the hip hop, the pop, it's huge there. And since when we first started playing the violin, we noticed that we got way more attention when we play things that people can relate. Violin is known for a classical instrument. So only those people who listen to classical music would relate to something that I play here classically. But guess what? We grew up in the slums. Not a lot of people relate to classical music. They relate to hip hop. They relate to funk. They relate to pop. So what did we do to be accepted by our friends doing the violin and even be part of a group? Let's play what they know. And that's how we started. And then we just brought to United States. Let's do the same here.
Do you ever perform any of these songs in Portuguese?
Yes, we write in Portuguese and
In
we
English.
perform in English, and we perform like now we perform 2 Brazilian songs in the set.
Have you tried any other languages?
Nope.
You've never been asked to try something in Spanish or anything?
No.
We play now the closest we do to Despacito.
Yeah, we play Despacito, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's a word.
That's it.
That's a start.
Yeah.
That's the start.
And do you generally agree on what you want to play for the shows, or do you sometimes go, no, I don't want to do what you say, I want to do what I want, or how do you come together for a set?
Very good question.
We just agree, no?
Yeah.
Well,
Like he tell me a song that he wants to play, I'll go there. Okay, that should be nice, and then I'll go there learn, and vice versa.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you still have to rehearse before shows, or have you done so many that you
Just
can
to
show?
learn, like if we learn a new song, then we rehearse so we are all on the same page. But the most of the songs we have been playing for so long, we don't rehearse.
Yeah. When we, like, for example, this year, we add some new songs and some new musicians. What we do, we usually get like the winter, end of the winter, which is kind of slow for us because of the season. We rehearse for like 2 months straight, and that's it. Now we got the set
For
for
the
the
year.
year, and every once in a while we add a couple new songs here and there. But then we just sit down, learn those few songs, and that's it.
And do the folks who book you ever request specific songs they have to go back and learn? Does that?
Yeah.
Only mostly corporate, like weddings only.
Yeah, weddings.
Yeah, but like festivals, oh no, like most of the time no, like hardly ever. Even
Yeah.
weddings, weddings they hire. Hey, can you play my wedding? Yeah, okay. Like they
Yeah,
don't.
every once in a while, like this year, we have already had at least 2 or 3 weddings. Like, can you play this? So we sit down in
and
front
we-
of YouTube.
Yeah,
and
very
learn the
quick.
song.
It's really,
Yes,
most of
yeah.
the time they're awesome songs.
Yeah.
They're
This
really
lady, this
good
last
songs.
wedding we did, it, she asked us to play 4 songs. We're like, oh, here we go. She asked a week before, and I learned the song 3 days before. And
Yeah.
the songs were awesome. We're
Yeah,
like,
they're
oh man,
good,
I'm
they're
glad.
good songs.
Yeah, very nice songs. And some of the songs, literally, like that they ask, we if they are nice songs, we add to the set list.
Yeah, we're like, oh my god, I love this song. Let's do it.
Yeah. The good thing about our show is that we are very free about everything, and we like the the different genres and the whole deal, and it's so like free. It's freestyle. We go there, learn the set, how it's supposed to begin and to end. But in between that thing there, a lot of freestyle, a lot of having fun. It's nothing. No, we know the gist of it, and let's do it on stage. It's so organic.
I've noticed that I've been to a few of your shows. I especially remember last summer when you guys were in Ames, and you did Ragbri when it
That was
stopped in
fun.
Ames.
That was fun.
Your rapport with the audience. I took my in-laws. It was right around the time of the Latin Music Festival, so my in-laws were in town, and they were dancing. And then afterwards, I heard them talk more about that than I did the festival that was in their son's honor. I said, "Hey guys, remember you came here for this festival? Remember the festival too?" But I remember that rapport with the audience, and it just seemed like you were so comfortable, and you had the Be Fit girls there, and they were
Yes,
dancing.
yeah, be fit.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
And speaking of them, I've seen your videos with them. And so how did it come about that you were going to do a music video, and how do you get that out there?
Very good question, girl.
So we did the Bubble Ball massive event in Des Moines. It's a charity, and it's huge for the child serve. And we got there. We were the band for the event, but before we played, there is a bunch of performance, bunch. And then I saw the Be Fit doing their thing, and it was like, what? It was unbelievable. I loved it. So immediately I went there backstage. Hey, I need you guys connections or contact, because we have a show coming up. It was at Woolies that I think I could fit you guys. And then I got the Jen Bramble, the owner, and we start talking, and she loved the idea, and we had her on the Woolies show. And it was awesome. Everybody loved it. They are awesome. They are very good to work with. They are all the way awesome. So we did the show at Woolies, and then we kept in touch, and then we recorded the song "Dance with Me," and then the idea came up, and it was really crazy, like to just to put everybody together. The logistic was like what, because we did Be Fit and Accessories, like the whole everybody from Accessories. So we organize all those people, bring all together. I found a car also on Facebook. The car was for sale, so then I called the guy. Hey, is this car still available? Yeah, it's still for sale. like, I have a music video coming up. Do you want your kind of music videos? It's like, yeah, that would be awesome. So
Yeah,
he
they
brought
were
that
all
guy.
like literally volunteer.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
all volunteer, and the video was.
Our first music video.
That was our first music video, Dance With Me. And all those people, I just had the idea. That's another thing also. We work with Powers Media. It's a media company in town. They are awesome because it's literally like us. Like, we tell them what to do and they just, okay, okay. So, Dance With Me, I was calling the shots because I had all the idea picture in my head, like the movie was ready, and then I was just like, hey, now here we're gonna have the girls come this way, and then the camera is gonna be right here getting only their feet, and then they did everything. So this was awesome. It was very, very no.
Yeah,
it was an awesome day.
He did the costume for everybody,
Yeah.
Wow.
and
it
they
was very
directed the video, the whole deal, and
Yeah, that
it was
very
very nice. It was extremely hot.
Yeah, it was really like it was like
very
100
hot, yeah.
easily, like it was painful.
And we were wearing a bunch of clothes just to, to look apart and make
But
it
it was
happen.
fun. It was a lot of fun.
Do you have more videos that you are going to be working on this year?
Yes, always. A lot of videos. A lot of
Yeah,
videos.
we noticed with before the whole idea of putting music videos out came kind of late, because we noticed that we already performing all over the place, but there is nothing that you could go online and see who the Brazilian twins were. We're like, how are we doing this? How are we getting booked? We didn't have music on in any platform.
Yeah.
We didn't have music. Like, if you type our name on YouTube, there is nothing. There is like a couple live videos from cell phone that people would get from our shows, but there is nothing official, like no songs on YouTube or Spotify or anywhere, and there is no professional videos. We're like, guys, we should probably start investing some time and money on videos, and that's how we started. And now we got quite a bit of material out there, very nice things that we actually like, and the goal is to keep on growing the social media with nice content.
Well, yeah, you guys have done an amazing job. I remember looking for you guys after I had seen you guys the first time, and I didn't come across anything. I ended up calling Palacio and going, hey, where'd you find these guys? Because I can't find anything.
Exactly,
online."
there is nothing there.
There was nothing, especially
And
at that time.
now, I mean, you have some great videos. You've got your original videos, but like I said, you've got drone videos. There are videos of various performances. Your Facebook page, you have lots of really vibrant photos, and in the photos, I think a lot of your personality comes out. Your
That's
your
good to hear.
nature, just the way that you guys interact together, interact with the audience. So, bravo to you guys, because you have
Thank
definitely
you.
created a presence online.
Thank you. Yeah, we are learning, and we like it. Yeah, it's still learning. It's been tough, especially nowadays, like with the whole
media,
posting
man.
all the time. And
I don't
maybe
do it. I don't
it's
do it.
tough. It's tough. We love our fans. But yeah, sometimes I think that I'm bothering them, like posting stuff that there is no content. Hey, look what I'm eating. Everybody eats food.
Yeah.
Look what I'm doing here. Like people, people are busy. I'm not gonna be sitting here. Like, it's tough. But everybody that we talk and we ask for advice, that's all they
Number
tell
one,
us.
now you have to have your cell phone in your face 24/7.
Yeah, you gotta post more. Oh, there you go. He's ready. He's doing it. But yeah, we are still learning. It's been awesome. The good thing about working with these guys here, the Power Media, is that we have so much freedom to do our stuff. Like, we tell them, show up at this time, and we go there. Oh, this is the idea. A lot of the times, the videos, we lay the idea right there.
Mostly,
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, we never
lay
have
there,
a
like,
meeting.
okay, guys, this is what's going down. Boom.
You stay there. You start recording from there. Wait here, because then he's gonna jump. It's like
It's like that.
right there.
It's a lot
It's
of fun.
fun. It's fun.
There is no script or reading. No,
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, I'm so excited that you guys took the time to come down here and get to know more of your story. I've always been impressed by your work, and even more so now that I feel like I'm getting to know more of how you got here. I didn't know that you had been working in construction and dining services
Oh
and,
yeah.
and that whole story. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us before we wrap this up? Anything about upcoming shows or things to look
Where
forward
are you
to?
from?
Where am I from?
Yeah.
Well, I grew up in Chicago, which
Okay.
when you were talking about, a dangerous place to get out of, I grew up there in the 90s when it was ruled by gangs and drugs and a lot of violence, so I understand that piece. I came to Iowa to go to school as well, Iowa State, and I had the same idea that you did. I would go to school for 4 years, and then I guess I'd go home because what else was I going to do, right? But I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to go back to Chicago. And my parents were still there, and my brothers and sisters. And then I got a job in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Ooh, Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Yeah,
We
they
played
love
there
us
all the
there.
time, yeah.
And I didn't really like it. So after about, I don't know, a couple months, I said, can you please move me somewhere else? And it was an insurance, and they moved me to Des Moines.
Oh, wow.
And there, shortly after, I met Warren Morrow. And at the time, he was just like, hey, you should stick it out here in Des Moines. There's not a lot of Latinas here. And I don't think I had met any other Puerto Ricans here. I felt like I was the only one in Iowa, and or at least in Des Moines. And he said, there's a lot more Latinas than what you think. And if you stick around, you'll find them. And so he started inviting me to different events and to get involved with different things. One of the first things that I worked on here was the Iowa Latino Heritage Festival. This was back in 2001 when it was 12 people and an idea, and none of us had any experience. We just thought, hey, why don't we have a festival? Our community is growing, and we should have a festival. So we decided that we would have one that year, and we started planning, and it was going to be for like September 12th, 2001, or September 13th, or something like that. Well, 9/11 happened, and after all that time planning and putting things together, we said there's no way that we can celebrate when the country's mourning. And so we postponed it for 6 months or something, and had the first Latino Heritage Festival in June of the following year. And I think that was when I really felt like I could make a difference in Des Moines. We told vendors that maybe there would be about 3,000 people there. And on that day, we got 10,000 people. People had organized, Latino communities, churches from all corners of Iowa organized buses and brought them to Des Moines. And what I saw was a bunch of people who wanted to be seen and heard and appreciated. They wanted to show that they were not the bad brown people that you were hearing about on television. Many of them had been called, terrible names and terrorists and all things just for having olive skin. And I remember this older lady came up to me, and I had a shirt that said that I was one of the organizers, and she thanked me for putting on the festival. And she said it was the first time she had heard her grandkids speak Spanish in public since 9/11.
Oh, wow.
And I thought to myself, I had seen Iowa as this quick stop, and then I was out of here to bigger, better cities. And I thought, no, I can do more here. Things that I would never be able to do in a big city where there's a million other educated Puerto Rican women trying to do things. And that's kind of how it all got started. I started volunteering a lot and doing a lot of different events. I stayed with the Latino Festival for over 10 years, helping to organize. And it's weird because when my husband died and we had the idea of the memorial concert, I never envisioned a festival. So the way that it was when you guys played at Woolies, that's kind of what we thought it would be, and it would be a one-time thing. And the first time you were talking about your video, everything was donated. Well, the first time we had our concert, everything was donated. The venue, the artists came and performed for free. The DJs that were there half or in between the acts, and we collected money at the door, and we were just going to donate it to charity, one of the ones that Warren had been a part of, and move on. And then people started saying, hey, can you bring that back? We didn't know that there was Spanish rock in Des Moines. And I remember we didn't have Spanish rock in Des Moines. None of those bands were local. All the Spanish rock came from Denver. It came from Kansas City. It came from Omaha.
Oh, wow.
We didn't have any from here. We had the paranderos, and they played salsa, but they, everybody knew
They are
about
very
them.
good, by the way.
Yeah,
The
very
paranderos.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
So a lot of your story makes me think of some of those beginnings of, that was a concert where we had 3 bands, and now we're a festival that has 7. And it makes me think you guys started in these smaller venues, and when I first saw you, I didn't, I thought, well, these guys are amazing for this little concert. And then by the time I found you guys, since you weren't on social media or anything, we were at Woolies, and I thought, wow, this is big. And and I feel like saying, look at us now. You guys have thousands of people.
Yeah,
in
congratulations
your shows,
for you too. Hey,
Thank
very
you.
good job, girl. Very, very, very nice.
Rising.
Well,
But
I
this
was
is it.
excited that you guys came last year and hung out at the festival just to check it out and
That was
see what was
fun, though.
going on.
That was fun.
Thank
This
you.
year, when was that? Last year.
Yeah, so you're having
Sure.
it again this year.
Yep, it'll be July 20th at the Brenton Plaza again.
Yeah,
so
I
hope you
love
guys can
that.
come out and hang out. And
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
gonna be a
we-
crazy
yeah,
summer
yeah.
for us.
Yeah, like
Yeah, we'll be all
We,
over the United States.
we're doing a
Yeah.
bunch of Washington, and then we go to Alaska, and then we go back
Alaska.
to Washington, and then we
Alaska.
go to.
Can you
You thought it was
believe?
cold in Iowa.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it'll probably be warmer
Yes.
in Alaska than it
yeah,
is here.
I think it's gonna be in September, and they said that the weather there is like they hit like 70s, which is perfect. So yeah, we are gonna stay in Alaska for 2
2
weeks.
weeks.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
there's gonna come a month that we are gonna go the whole month without coming home, just jumping from state to state, which we are looking forward to. Yeah, we have done already a lot of traveling this year, and there is a lot more to go. And looking forward to. And this is it, just like how we opened this conversation here. It showed to be true for me, for us, and for you too. The hard work we put in the past has been paying off, and this is all that it is.
You have wine
does.
here? Oh, they have wine. Let's open wine. Let's keep this.
This is it. This is like a very important piece of the puzzle. The hard work. You gotta challenge yourself and work hard and focus. And that's it.
Well, I thank you very much for coming and spending time here at Pound Town Media and with me. And I am very, very excited to see where you guys end up. So I'll continue to follow you guys on
Please.
social media.
Bring us
and
back.
I-
Bring us back. Let's talk more.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I would love to do that. And I hope that you guys can come out to our festival, or maybe we can live stream it and you guys can watch from, I don't know,
Woo woo.
wherever you'll be on July 20th.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you
Okay.
should live stream that.
Hey,
But
thank
you
you.
again.
Thank you for having us.
thank
Thank you.
you
We
so
really
much.
appreciate it. And that was fun, by the way. That was a lot of
I
fun.
love this. I love
Yeah, just sitting here. Nice place.
it. Everybody, I'll see you next time at Christina Speaks, the
Definitely.
podcast of the morning.